Hey guys, welcome to my 9.3 patch note rundown. 9.3 is the patch that's supposed to resurrect the AD carries with the new crit item changes, so I'm pretty excited. I recently swapped to playing mid lane because playing AD carry was miserable, so let's see what Riot has in store for us. Welcome to patch 9.3, the patch that's like milk because we're alleviating a lot of spice. Okay, let's stop reading that right away. Rice these for Riot. It's like milk because we're alleviating spice. Oh my god. Alright, Aatrox. Health regen increased. Aatrox no longer heals soft damage to non-champions. E no longer stores charges but cools down faster than it previously charged. Okay. So they want to expose weakness for Aatrox. So currently the big problem with Aatrox is incredibly strong in lane and he has a lot of HP regen due to, or a lot of lifesteal from his ability due to, there's a mastery that people take on him that gives him lifesteal, and also his abilities give him lifesteal. So they're cutting down the lifesteal but increasing the health regen, which is good. I like the fact that instead of blatantly nerfing champions, Riot's exposing weakness for the champions. So they're not going to heal versus, Aatrox isn't going to heal versus non-champions, so also creeps. And also, they're changing it. I'm not sure, as much as people complain about Aatrox, they never play Aatrox. So how his E worked was, it was a dash that you had 2 charges for. So you could go dash dash if you saved up your charges. But they're removing that, and now your dash is just going to be on a 5-second cooldown when you max it. And it's going to get reduced by cooldown reduction. So Aatrox is still going to be strong later on in the game, but earlier on he's going to have more exposed weakness. Akali. Health regen increase. Q no longer heals. Turret reveals Akali through Shroud. Woo! This is a big text. We're not going to read all of that. So one of the biggest problems with Akali was when she had over 180 energy and she used her Q, she would actually regen. It made her incredibly hard to lane versus because she was hard to trade with, and she also had a way to regen HP very easily. And as for her W, it gave her true stealth, which allowed her to hide from turrets, which is hugely problematic in my opinion because it's just like blunt power creep. It's like there's stealth, and then now there's true stealth, and then you need like true sight to see through true stealth. Like it just kept getting more ridiculous, and I'm really glad that they decided to take in this direction. Another thing that I do think is problematic is Akali actually has energy regen whenever she uses Twilight Shroud. It's not something that a lot of people know, but if you force Akali to use Twilight Shroud early, then she doesn't get the energy regen back, and she can't do her Q auto like combos anymore. So that's also something that I do think Riot will touch later, like W, her Shroud giving her back energy. I just find it incredibly weird, and it makes for a very weird play pattern. But these are overall good nerfs to Akali. It makes her a lot easier to lane versus, and also the true stealth from turret was just complete bullshit, and I'm glad they're removing it. Camille. E no longer stuns minions or monsters. So they're basically just trying to make Camille a non-jungler because she's super problematic as a jungler, and she's fine as a laner. And if they buffed her for lane, it would make her jungling way more crazy, and they want Camille to be a laner, which is fine. I think Camille as a jungler was a lot of bullshit. And then we have Cassiopeia. Q-based damage decreased, ratio increased, W damage reduced late, cost increased late. I mean, ratio increase supposedly can make up for the base damage nerf. It just means she's going to be weaker at level 9, but fine later on. Same thing for her W. The mana increase is actually pretty big. Wow. Damage per second from 60 to 40. If Miasma lasts 3 or 4 seconds, that's like 60 damage nerf. That's actually crazy. Yeah, that's 100 damage nerf. Oof. Well, I still think Cassio's going to be fine overall as a champion, and people are still going to play her. You were overkilling champions anyways. It's just she might not be as permaban as she might be. And this is pretty sad, because as a mid lane player, I played a lot of Cassiopeia. So I'm pretty sad that she's getting nerfed, but maybe it just means that we're going to get to play her and see her a lot more. Moving on, Irelia. Health growth and armor increase, passive stat cap increase, stacks grant attack speed instead of damage, max stack bonus grants damage instead of attack speed, Q bonus minion damage increase, W reduces more physical damage but no longer reduces magic damage. Okay. I actually really like what they're doing with Irelia. So I think the current problem with Irelia is she's just so bursty as a champion. Whenever Irelia gets on top of you, you almost instant die due to how bursty that champion is. She's able to just pop you. So all these nerfs towards her burstiness, but while making her more of a sustained fighter, I think it's great. I think that's what Irelia should be, not this burst assassin champion. And her W no longer reducing magic damage makes her a lot harder to be played mid, which I also do like, because I think mid Irelia was really hard for a lot of the clunky mid laners to deal with. If they made one mistake of giving her the opportunity to stun, like they were dead, and mid lane is so dependent on skill shots, and Irelia was able to pretty much ignore any kind of skill shot due to how mobile she was. So I really like the direction they're taking Irelia. So top Irelia I still think is going to be more than viable and fine, but they're pretty much killing mid Irelia, which is something I am all for. Ooh, marksman item. Alright. Crit users are excited about their core build again. Crit builds are generally more satisfying in normal play without becoming problematic in pro play. Crit users can fit defense into their core builds if they need it. Okay, so I'll try to explain the current problems with crit items, and we'll see if Riot actually fixed the problems or they just replace the problem with another problem. Currently, for crit items to be really strong, you need to get 3 of them. It's usually Storm Razor, 1 Zeal item that's complete, and 1 Infinity Edge. So you need those 3 items for crit items to be effective. How crit items work is they're not effective by themselves, but as you build more of them together, they just become more and more effective. So they are exponentially scaling. It used to be the breakpoint for crit items being really strong was 2 items, but now it changed to 3 items. So let's see how Riot handled that. Is it still going to be 3 items, or is it still going to be 2 items? Why crit builds are generally more problematic in pro play is because pros are much more better about playing coordinated around the fed AD carry. When an AD carry gets fed, in pro play, teams will play around that. In solo queue, people won't, so it didn't matter that much, even if your AD carry was fed. Because remember, even if you build all the crit items in the world, if you die, you do 0 damage. It's the same thing as having only 1 crit item if you had 3 crit items. Crit users can fit defense into their core builds if they need it. So another problem is crit items, because they work with each other. If you can't buy defensive items, because anytime you would skip or you would forego a crit item to buy a defensive item, it would make you fall down so far in terms of the damage curve. So let's see what they actually did. Okay, so they're adding back Cloak of Agility. 800 gold gives you 20% crit strike chance. Infinity Edge. Oh, give me 1 sec, guys. Increase critical strike damage instead of partially converting crits to true damage. Grants critical strike chance instead of doubling crit chance from other sources. So they're just making Infinity Edge what it originally used to be. And one thing that it does is it makes it so you can rush Infinity Edge if you need to. it wasn't that efficient to rush Infinity Edge, and you wanted to wait until you got other items. I mean, because it doubled crit chances, right? And even with the old Infinity Edge, it wasn't that efficient as a first item. But this is a step towards making 2-item Power Spike a lot stronger for crit users. Now grants Critical Strike, no longer grants Mana or Essence Flare. So what did they do with it? It gives you 20% cooldown reduction, 25% crit, basic attacks, refund 1.5% missing mana. So it just became a stat item that gives you cooldown and crit chance. I'm not sure how good I feel about it. Spear of Sojin grants attack damage, health cooldown reduction, and Awakened Dragon. What the fuck? So this is basically the new Essence Reaver. Yeah, I mean, so it's basically the new Essence Reaver. The Weeb Sword. They basically name changed Essence Reaver, and now Essence Reaver is a crit chance, crit plus cooldown item. So who are champions that would use critical strike and cooldown? Zaya and maybe Kaisa. So maybe Zaya and Kaisa would build Essence Reaver. I'm trying to think anyone else. Oh, Ashe also, but Ashe is a dead champion right now. Storm Razor now amplifies your energized effects and cause them to slow the target. No longer grants a guaranteed critical strike after not basing attacking for a few seconds. Whoa, that's actually cool. So you slow targets now? Storm Razor was created to support marksman playstyles that focus more on cutting around the fight than attacking at a full uptime. That is not true. Storm Razor was just created. How people use Storm Razor was, we need a item that's good when you buy it. So people bought Storm Razors. They didn't buy it because they were focused around kiting. That's just bullshit. But ended up becoming a predominant first item in crit builds due to its combination of early impact and crit scaling. Yeah, okay, at least Riot knows why they bought it. We're keeping the idea of occasional superpowered attacks, but moving it from crit system into energized system so it's not a bumper on the front of Infinity Edge builds. Movements and basic attack generate energized stacks. At 100 stacks, your basic attack deals 65 bonus magic damage on hit and slows the target by 40%, decaying over 1 second. That's really weird for ADs to have a attack that's gonna slow people on the first hit. I'm not sure how this is gonna exactly work and how good it's gonna be, but it's pretty interesting. Wait, what? Your other energized effects are 30% more effective and also slow their target by 40%, decaying over 1 second. Wait, 30% more effective? So if I have Fleet Footwork and I have this item, I get 30% more healing and 30% more movement speed? Is that how this works? Wow, that's super interesting. Wow. I'm not sure how I feel about the second part. Alright, Phantom Dancer. Now grants a shield at low health, but no longer decreases damage from last champion you hit. Spectral Waltz now triggers on attack rather than proximity to an enemy champion. So they're making a crit item that fits nicely as like a defensive tool. If you would take damage, that would reduce your health below 30%. Gain a shield that absorbs up to 240 to 600 damage for 2 seconds. What? 240 shield? What? That's a fucking ability. What? Wait a second. This is stronger than Barrier. Whoa, 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 whoa. Scaling starts at level 9. You can get it before level 7. Scaling starts at level 9. Okay. This is good. This item's hella good. What the hell? This item's way too good. Oh my god, this item's crazy good. I thought it would be so weak, but it's so crazy good. Okay, they're reducing the crit items by a little bit. All these changes are nice. That Phantom Dancer is super interesting. I think most builds are gonna look something like this. You get PD, and then you get IE, and then you get Rapid Fire. I think that's gonna be your build. Build suggestions. Oh shit, Riot's telling us what we should be building. This is gonna be a good one. Infinity Edge, Berserker Greaves, Zeal upgrade, or Last Whisper upgrade. But they want people to go IE first, and then you'll start being effective. Oh, simple buffs than nerfs. A little more buffs than nerfs. Lysandra, Q cost increase late, E damage decrease late. Okay. One thing I really like that they are doing is Glacial Pass is no longer hidden in terrain. Lysandra's, current Lysandra builds with double mana ring give you nearly infinite mana anyway, so I don't think these mana nerfs are that big. Like 8 mana at level 5 is nothing to that build. The E nerfs might make it so you can't clear the wave with EQ, then people will just start finding builds that give you a little bit more AP. Q damage decrease, W cooldown increased early. Sion was a must pick champion, so I definitely want to see some Sion nerf. Thank you. Ooh, Zaya plant damage nerf. Thank God. She is toxic to play against in lane. If you don't lane bot lane, then you won't know, but she is toxic to play against. One of the unintended side effects of pre-season minion and monster gold bounties is that farming back up from an early deficit puts a target on your back. We're making that not happen anymore. Okay, that's great. So if you were behind and then you got a lot of gold through farming, you would have a bounty on your head, but they're removing that. That's good. Okay, rest of it is fluff. Okay, that's going to be my patch review. I'm pretty excited for the AD carry item changes, especially the Phantom Dancer. This Phantom Dancer thing looks insane! Insane in the brain! I think the Phantom Dancer is going to be crazy strong. I think a lot of ADs are going to go Infinity Edge into Phantom Dancer. So, yeah, let's see how this plays out. Alright, thank you guys for staying with me for the patch notes rundown.